Hike. Looks like Australia is on the salary hike spree. Are you aware the government has increased the salary a few months ago from $54,000 to $70,000 as a minimum prescribed wages? Now again the government has increased the salary from $70,000 to $73,150 from 1st of July, whichever is a nomination is filed after that date. Especially when you are a candidate looking for Australia on a TSS work permit 482 subclass visa, this is a great news for you. But it might impact the industry in different way, but you as a candidate and also a potential person who's going to live in Australia might also get affected in this. So that's what exactly we're going to see, what preparation you need to have both physically and mentally so that you will be prepared what's coming. Let's get into the video. Number one impact is going to be the number of positions available. As you are aware, any increase of the salary, it will directly impact the employer and the business. So for example, if the business is looking for 4 or 5 candidates and because of this increased budget, they may have a budget constraint, they may reduce the positions to 1 or 2. That means the number of positions open in the market for your trade could be much lesser than it was few months ago, so that you don't get stuck in that oversupply and demand issue which is expected to hit the market in few months down the line. Employer readiness, mainly the business is rely on a lot of international skilled workforce. They may be highly constrained of recruiting more number of people, and this will increase their budget allocations, and that will directly impact their operational cost, in result to maybe increase the product prices, which is also directly impacting the industry as a whole. So there's a lot of chain reaction which is expected in that, and one of the very important thing is this employer readiness. So as an employer, they're hiring people from overseas, they wanted to make sure they got the right people coming in with the right skill, with the maximum productivity output. So you need to be really a top-notch tradesperson so that you can deliver up to the expectations. Let's look at the industry impact towards the quality increase in the industry. Mainly when the employer is ready to pay a higher salary, they have the liberty and the luxury of getting better workforce from different parts of the world. So that will open doors for a number of people who's looking at Australia as a preferred destination to come and work and live in this beautiful country. So that way you will get a little more salary every week. That will give you the much needed motivation to work harder, faster and more efficient way. That means the quality of workforce in the Australian industry is definitely going to go up. And another important aspect which we are looking at is the regional considerations. As you are aware, Australia is encouraging people to move to regional locations where they can study, work and live, where they wanted to distribute the population from the key major 3 cities, which is Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. But if you look at this increase of salary, the regional companies where they have the leverage of a lesser salary, where people are happy with that kind of a lifestyle and the cost of living, they are also forced to go and adopt this higher salary structure. And that will impact the regional businesses where even if you're already working and you're looking for extending your contract, you may have a bad news. The companies want to settle down lesser number of workforce. So be prepared, especially when you're regional sector, that you need to be prepared that some kind of a news which will not going to give you a happy news, so that you'll start looking for other alternatives if your visa is expected or due to renewal or extending the duration. The reason for upcoming changes. You may be looking at why the government is keep increasing the salary in every few months. This is the second time this is happening in the last 12 months, which is very unusual. If you look at in Australia, the housing sector is having a lot of strain in it. Many migrants came to Australia post-pandemic when the borders are opened, and they all mainly looking for a house to stay. It could be rental or it could be an outright purchase. The housing industry is not having that many houses because in the recent times hundreds and thousands of people came to Australia, and because of the demand, the rental income has gone high, and this is a significant impact for people who are coming to the country and looking at settling and living in Australia. That's the reason many skilled workers feels the cost of living is high in Australia. The government has to compensate that through higher wages. So that is the very reason the government is taking care of the foreign workers, especially coming on the trade sector on a 482 work permit visa, making sure whatever is a cost escalation or the inflation, they're going to increase the salary so that you don't feel that pinch to a greater extent. As an outset, what I would say is it's a great news that you're going to get a better salary in Australia, but please be prepared. You look at the other side, your employer who is going to support you, who is going to pay you salary, and that business has to sustain, to hold you and support you. That's very important, that you as an important stakeholder, you have to be mentally prepared before coming into Australia. You have to be in a position to multitask, work faster, smarter, and produce much better results so that your employer is happy, the business is surviving, and you're happy, and it is an absolute win-win for both you and the employer, of course, the policymaker, the government. Hope you have a great news in this video, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Good luck.